Welcome to the one. Oh, it's not. Why do I always do that?
1 minute smoke session.
Well, welcome to a Smoke Sessions podcast. This week's episode is all about Viraj being upset.
Look, this weekend has been shit. This fucking life sometimes is shit. But you know what? We move. We fucking move. You know how I feel right now? I feel like fucking. I have had one of the worst weekends in a very long time. I didn't enjoy it. And you know what? I quite like the fact that we don't speak. I ignore your. I just ignore your calls because actually it makes for good content.
Okay, yeah.
I like it
So we
because
talk
actually
too much.
we talk way too
Yeah,
much.
it's not healthy.
But shit weekend, just shit weekends in terms of just mental state and whatever. But fuck me, people get on nerves. People get on my nerves. Life gets on my nerves, and I just don't know what to do about it. Don't fucking know what to do about it. I feel like a fucking fraud. I feel like an imposter. I don't know what to fucking do in my life. While we're sitting here talking to a fucking camera to a bunch of people that I don't even know that are fucking watching our shit and buying tickets to our shows. Who the fuck knows? You know fucking what pisses me off, right? The fact that last week, yeah, you didn't make a good shisha. Last episode was shit. Shit. I mean, granted.
It was
right?
shit. It was a shit episode.
Tyler's episode, we came off the mother of all highs.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't sat and just watched someone, like, just literally write art. Constantly just write. I was just thinking, clip. Phenomenal. That guy's a natural. But god damn, that shisha was rubbish last week. Oh my, I come here, right? One small thing of my week I asked for. I don't go to big shisha lounges anymore because Muhsin and Viraj, he makes me my shisha, yeah? And you know what? I come to this lovely house. I drive 72 miles to get here, yeah? I was running through petrol tanks at like 60, 70 quid a pop of V-Power. Now I'm down to 10. It's all right. But god, that all I ask for is one shisha. That's all I ask from you, Muhsin. One small thing. And you can't deliver.
Who told you to get the more expensive petrol?
The car requires it.
Well, who told you to get that car?
Required it.
I didn't tell you to get that car.
No, the car was there. It had to be used.
You make terrible decisions in cars, by the way, Viraj.
I know that. Sometimes it's my own fault. I'm aware of that. But the shisha was not my fault. He was like, you know what, Viraj? I will. Essex accent. You know what, Viraj? I'll do it. I'll get the shisha done. You get ready. You set all of this up. All right, I fucking set it up, didn't I? Perfect. Set looked good. Come in with this shit fucking shisha and I'm spending there fucking God knows what out. You know what? I know it's probably my fault as well because I bought a shitty pipe and the fucking, you know what? The base is like how many years old? 4 or 5 years old?
Try this. It's really good.
No, it's tangy because I bought shit flavor.
No, but it's smoking really well. That's all me, G.
Amen.
Okay, yeah. That's a good shisha.
Amen.
That's a good shisha.
Amen.
Yes.
It's a little bit. Oh, yeah.
It is tangy, innit? What's that tang?
It's different. This new tobacco flavor. Mwah.
Okay.
I like the old stuff.
So, today, Viraj is upset, if you haven't been able to tell. So what Viraj is going to do, he's going to tell us why he hates everyone, and he's going to start off with me. So, off you go, Viraj.
You know what I hate about Muhsin most?
Okay.
I sometimes hate his positivity.
Oh, no.
I fucking hate it. Because you know what? There was this dude, right? That fucking that commented on our TikToks and was like, oh, these guys know nothing. You know, they haven't even done 2 days of work. And I'm there like, yeah, you know what, mate? I have done 2 days of work. I did 11 months and I hated it. But yeah, we'll get past that. But sometimes I think, Muhsin, you haven't worked a single day in your life. Because sometimes I'm like, your stuff is so theoretical, it doesn't always work in practice. And as much as I love you, kid, as much as I do, God damn, sometimes I just want to break. I want to be like, Muhsin, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't need to be psychoanalyzed, yeah? You don't. Go do it to someone else. Do it to your brother. Do it to your girlfriend. Go do it to someone else. I listen to you constantly. Like, literally, it's not you. I listen to, the fucking version of you. Hold this. I'm not done.
Right.
I listen to the version of you that's done this podcast and has talked what we talk about. And sometimes it's shit. And sometimes it's reality. And Lord knows it's hilarious, right? Sometimes I just need you to shut the fuck up and listen, not give me any fucking advice. Even though I'm fucking sitting here losing my shit half the time because I'm thinking about how to take over the fucking world and I'm only 24 and how to scale a fucking business that isn't a business. And I know we're not a business and we're trying to figure it all out. And I know I'm at the bottom of the fucking ladder and I'm working on it.
at the bottom of the ladder. You're like somewhere going up.
And my crypto's down.
Yeah, but all our cryptos are down.
Yeah, and I haven't made a YouTube video this week, and I've got to put one out by Thursday, and I need a fucking editor to fucking do this. And you're like, yeah, Viraj, we'll find a fucking editor. We'll find one, Viraj. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Oh, listen, I want a fucking editor.
So let's find one.
Fucking, I wish, you know what? I wish Ali could do it. I wish Ali could do it.
Oh.
I wish. Sometimes, Ali, yeah, I love you, man. I fucking do. I love you with all my heart. You've been there for me, and I've been there for you. But goddamn, sometimes Lord knows I wish you could just edit this podcast. And I know you hate doing it, and that's why I want to make you do it, and I just want to spite it. But I'm not that type of guy always. But today I'm feeling in that mood. You know what else I hate? I fucking hate it when someone looks at me on the motorway.
Before we go off that, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Go on, please.
Okay. What do I say that is good in theory, but isn't good in reality? I'm not. By the way, I am not. By the way, I'm probably gonna agree with you. I'm not trying to interrogate you.
Sometimes it's when you say like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You know, you're doing all right." And I just realize how small I am in this grand big world that we live in. And I'm like, we're just one thing that's just like moving slowly forward. And I get it. It's a problem with me mostly because I like getting to the outcome fast. Like, I wish we had 100,000 viewers, but we don't.
Right.
I get we've got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on episode, 17 now?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wish that you would just like take over and just fucking make decisions and not ask me for advice regarding stuff. And I'm just like, Muhsin, how do you not know how to put a light together?
A light?
Like the fucking lights. And you sit there and you're like twiddling stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know he's not good with his hands. I know he's more academic.
Right.
Like, oh,
Okay.
Jesus. I'm there like, I'm a jack of all motherfucking trades. But is that my own demise? And then I look at Hinge and I'm like, why doesn't anyone like me? Yeah? I look at Hinge and I'm like, this motherfucking app. I sit there and I'm like, yo, I've re-clicked through like 10 miles of my area. Yeah. And these motherfucking girls don't know, like, they don't swipe right. And I'm there like, wagwan.
You know what it is?
What?
You look too happy on your Hinge profile.
Bro, I need to put the pictures of me crying. And you know what? Another thing that got me
Crying.
right. On my birthday, I put a fucking reel up, yeah? one of those things we make for TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I like doing this thing once a week where we take videos, and it's kind of like a reflection of sitting down and creating that. My own little way. On my birthday, I put one up, and it was like, there was like happy. And it was a picture of me crying. Because I had the day before I wasn't feeling great, and I had an argument, and whatever's whatever. Moved on. But out of everyone that watched that, out of everyone that saw that, I had one person reach out to me and be like, Viraj, I saw that. I saw what you put in there. You were right. I was there like, one motherfucker. Like, is that what my life amounts to? One guy that actually reaches out. And in my head, I've squared it off where the inner circle doesn't necessarily need to do that, because we spend so much time with each other that it comes out anyway. Like, I talk to you about it the next day. So I don't need you to come and be like, Wagwan, you good. But it's like everyone else, I'm just there like, I have done shit for people. I have done shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, and then you realize that we live in this world where no one actually gives a fuck. No one really cares about you, except the people that you choose to care about you. And, you know, I hate that. I hate that about this world that we live in. And it sucks. But you know what? We get on with it. Because right now, I just need to not give a fuck. I need to stop. I need to cut down my phone list. Why is this broken now? What is this? What have you done, huh? All you got to do is sit there and you just got to stay still. But no, now you need to break. Jesus. Can I have the shisha, please?
Yes. Well, that was a lot. Where do we start?
This is not a therapy session.
This is not a therapy session.
You are officially fired as my life coach.
Well, Viraj, I'd give you advice, but clearly you don't want it. So, what needs to change?
I guess my outlook on life needs to change. It's not everyone else, because you can't change everyone else. It's me. I know I need to change. I haven't been putting in the work, the self-work that I need to put in, and that has caused a lot of the problems that I currently have. I am aware of that. And yeah, I know it's cyclical and there's a pattern to it. You know, I go to the gym, I start feeling better, and then suddenly I have an injury, and it's like, gotta wait for this shit to heal, and blah, 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 blah. And then you get depressed, and it's like, ugh. Sometimes I'm just like, the world that we live in is just not it.
It's not that bad though, is it? It's great.
Sometimes it's great. When I see a comedian, I realize how actually, you know, menial this shit is.
You have a good life, man.
I do have a good life. I
Yeah.
do have a good life. Like, I'm doing all right, I think. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm not where I thought I would be.
Where did you think you were gonna be?
I fall back into investment banking, Viraj.
Would you be in Yeah, but who's to say you would have been happier?
I don't think about the happiness, because happiness was never on the table. I never actively thought about happiness, right? I went out for dinner with a really good friend of mine. I'm not going to mention his name. But we were there, we were talking, and he's following a typical career path. You know, he's working on the things that he wants to work on in terms of like sport, and he's going out, he's got a social life, he's dating and things like that. And he's got a good career, and he's working his way up that ladder.
Yeah.
And he went to me, he's like, Viraj, I'm thinking about moving to the US. And I was there like, holy shit, what am I doing with my life?
Because he's moving to a
Because
country.
that was one of the things that I wanted to do,
right.
before I chose a different path. Not to
Okay.
say that it can't happen. It's just that I thought at some point I would be able to do that at the age I'm at. And I'm like, well, that isn't happening right now. I'm like, it was two sides. It was like, what am I doing with life? And I can't express how happy I am for you. Like, he wants to move to the US and he will do amazing there. And I was like, start the process. Just start. Whether you get it or not, just go for it. It's a little bit funny.
There's something to it, isn't it?
There's something to it. It's like,
Do you think it's a pipe?
I don't know. It might be.
Hopefully we're not inhaling something toxic.
Nah, there's definitely. I've cleaned it. I just haven't cleaned it in a while.
That's good.
Oh, it's your job, mate.
To clean the pipe.
You just got to show up and do the shisha. That's it.
You wanted me to clean the shisha pipe.
Yeah, Muhsin.
You didn't say that.
I don't need to say it. Should I have to say it? Apparently, I do.
I asked, shall we use your pipe?
I said I don't mind.
Yeah. No. No, you didn't say
What
I
did
don't
I
mind.
say?
You said let's use this one.
Okay, let's use another one, Muhsin. Make an executive decision.
So you're upset with me because I trust your judgment.
You said, why don't you trust your own judgment?
It's not about trusting my own judgment. I was like, what does Viraj think?
I don't give a fuck. Deal with the shisha. Offload it.
So you should have said.
It's like our editors. From now, I'm just gonna let Ali deal with it.
So what
But
you?
I know that I'll get pissed off for letting Ali deal with it.
Yeah.
Because Ali, as much as I love you, sometimes you get on my nerves. Just like I'm sure I get on your nerves. Just like this dickhead gets on my nerves.
I'm a delight.
Sometimes
I'm
you're
a
a
joy to
delight.
be around.
It's like, you know, in Brighton when you left, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Muhsin must have had a tough day. And then I got home and I was like, what happened there?
You lot were winding me up. That's what happened.
This is true.
There was too much.
People were just taking their time.
I was already in a bad mood.
Why were you
Right.
in a bad mood, Muhsin?
Because I had the worst gig of my life the night before. And I was on low-level sleep. And I was bringing Peter's boxes that I've been storing in my garage for the best part of a year. In my garage. I brought it, drove 2 hours, loaded the car, unloaded it. And I thought, right, that's done. Now we can actually go and do something fun.
And they took their time.
3 hours later, Peter took a bloody nap.
I know!
And I'm like, I'm not having this.
I can't do that. For me, it's like bam, 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 go, 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 go.
That's what I wanted. I didn't want to sit around.
I didn't want to chill. I just wanted to get on. I wanted to go down to the beach. I wanted to get some food.
There's nothing worse than standing around a dirty uni house at my age. You know how grim that is.
Bruv, we did that for 3 years. You did
Yeah.
it for 4.
Yeah, so I'm done with it emotionally. My thing is, right, when I say to people, I don't want to micromanage people. So if you come to me and say, what do you think, right? And it's clearly something that's your specialty, not mine, I'm obviously going to say, I trust your judgment. If you're going to ask me about lighting, what the fuck do I know about lighting?
Oh
I'm
no,
going to trust your judgment on it.
when I ask you about lighting, it's not. I care about your opinion because it's our show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to feel involved, and that's kind of probably my thing. Where I'm like, I like building communities of people, and I like bringing people together. And it's like, okay, let's get an opinion from everyone in on this. I know what it's gonna be. I know what you're gonna say. But it's if I've missed something and you go, Viraj, something looks off there. Like today, you were like, what have you done differently? I'm like, the lights are lower than they usually are, and then maybe not as bright. And it's probably because it's outside and it's brighter than usual. Maybe that's it. But I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, yeah, I like it, or yeah, I don't.
I find that things move quicker when everything doesn't have to turn into a discussion. It's just in a partnership, I wouldn't work with you if I didn't like your opinions on things, if I was worried about the decisions you were gonna make. So I just let you make those decisions. It's like I don't need you guys to tell me what jokes to tell because you guys can probably trust that I'm gonna do the right jokes.
So when you run the jokes by us, why do you run the jokes by us?
Just to hear it out loud. But I know you
So
guys.
it's for your own benefit.
I'm just hearing it out loud, and just sometimes do you like that or not? But I don't need you guys to sit down and help me write it.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm
I'll
saying?
keep that in mind.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not
Because
like
you know me, I feel like I sometimes feel like I context switch way too much. It's like I'm working on this thing that I can't really talk about a lot at the moment, and hopefully it pans out. And I've been waiting for it for so fucking long. And when you get one of those opportunities that you literally cannot say no to, I'm working on that. I've got NDAs, verbal NDAs, and it's like I can't speak about it. So that's sick. Wait, I don't even know where I was going with this. Fuck it, I've lost my train of thought.
do you ever feel like you're too organized?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm so organized. I'm like, I'll sit there. I'll get to a place early just to sit there.
Sometimes being too organized, because we're in the same boat. I have to context switch a lot as well, because you got the PhD, you got the comedy stuff, you got this stuff, and then you got other stuff as well, right?
Like you got a relationship to manage. That's something I haven't even considered yet.
And sometimes being too organized puts you in situations you don't want to be in. Let's say you plan out your month, right?
Yeah, I did that.
And you've put in your calendar, and then 3 weeks from now at 2 o'clock, you're going to be editing something. I don't know, whatever, right? You felt like that was a good idea a month ago, but in that moment, you'd much rather be doing something else. But your brain said, no, it's in the calendar. I have to do that. No, if you're someone who has to manage a lot of things, sometimes you just got to use your instinct and do the thing that makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at
Yeah.
doing what makes me feel better.
But this might be all theoretical. Who knows?
Oh man, shit. Yeah, I do that. So I don't. I honestly, I don't do what's always best for me. I do put other people's stuff in front of my own, because that's kind of what I saw the people around me when I was younger doing. I say that, I mean specifically my parents. And so I put other people's joy before my own a lot of the time. And I had a thing to do on Saturday, and it didn't. I was not feeling great. I wasn't in the right headspace to do it, but I had to go and do it anyway. And I didn't put them before me, and it fucked up. And when I get moments like that, have you watched? Ah, shit, what's the Netflix show called with the monsters?
No.
Oh, right, I gotta find this. This is fucking. You've got to watch this. This shit is hilarious. It's about puberty and these teenage kids. And have you heard about it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm on about?
Yeah. Khadija watches it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
puberty monster. Yeah.
they're them.
I've seen an episode, yeah.
Have you seen the episode where he doesn't go through his
No.
jack off routine correctly?
Maybe. I don't know.
And basically his grandma dies. And he's like, oh my god, she died because I didn't do my routine properly. Sometimes I get like that.
That's a game kids play. Like, it's like, if you don't touch my shoulder right now, someone's gonna die, and then you touch their shoulder. Do you remember doing stuff like that when you
Yeah,
were
I
a
do.
kid?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like if you step on a crack, you break your mother's back.
Yeah, if you step on 3 drain pipes
Yeah, yeah,
or drain
yeah. The
things,
drain holes,
you're gonna die. Or
or
if
you
you walk
walk
under a
under,
ladder, yeah.
or you. What is it in South London, or is it a North London thing as well, where you can't walk under the posts, the signs, the motorway, or not the
Scaffolding.
not scaffolding.
I know I do that one. Don't walk on the scaffolding. It's bad luck.
Wait, so you won't walk under a building with scaffolding? You'll cross the street.
Most of the time I'll cross the street. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care. But yeah, that's the thing. Don't walk on the scaffolding. It's
Nah,
bad luck.
it's the signs. So you know when you got a sign that's got loads of stuff on it, like a car sign.
Yeah.
Don't walk under the middle of it where it's got two and you can walk underneath.
No, I've not heard that one.
You haven't heard that? I
No.
think that's a South London thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
And then it's things like this, and I'm like, I don't do something properly. I don't do something that I think I'm supposed to do properly, and it's like everything shit hits the fan. I'm like, fuck, it's because of that. It's because I didn't put someone else in front of me.
So just blaming things that are completely arbitrary for
Yeah.
your problems.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I put way too much pressure on myself. I know I do, and I do it anyway because I think I can hold the world.
I think you need to incorporate more vibes into your schedule. So like rather than be like it's regimented to an hour a day this and then that and then that. Wake up. I'd do your calendar daily rather than weekly. That might make a big difference. What do I feel like doing today?
I'll try that.
So today I feel like editing. I don't really feel like editing on Monday. Instead of just forcing yourself to do it. You don't have to.
I know,
as
but
long
I
as it
just
gets done by the
it's-
deadline. Who
it's-
cares?
I know that. It's just that I want to feel like I'm being efficient. And it's like I quit my job, right? And the thing that I've been doing for 11 months, and I've been applying to other jobs, and I take one day, I just wanted 3 days, fucking 3 days, maybe a week at most. And then all of these like opportunities start rolling in, and I'm like, what has happened here? Like I wasn't asking for any of this yet. And they just start coming and flooding in, and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. Like when an opportunity presents itself, I've conversations that we've had, you take it, you run with it, right? Because sometimes something might pan out. And I was like, okay, these opportunities are too good to not go for. So let me roll with them, roll with the punches. And so I roll with them. And I was like, I look back on it, I'm like, fuck, I wish I'd had those 3 days just doing jack shit. But I also know during those 3 days that I wanted to do something. So I go in this fucking catch-22 situation where I'm like, what are you doing? What are you not doing? Like, why aren't you further in your life as where you're supposed to be? But then you chose this path, mate. You're happy when we're doing this. This is like, I've said this before, this is one of the highlights of my week. Because I actually get to sit and we get to talk about different things, and fuck it. Sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes we have shit shows like last week. But I know it's all part of the game. We've only been doing this a grand total of like 17 hours. It takes 10,000 to master. The whole concept of 1 minute smoke is based off of Kill Tony. Yeah, Kill Tony's racked up how many episodes now?
We already have 100,000 views, by the way.
Mate,
Can we-
100,000.
Round of applause for us.
I wish there was more of you clapping with us, and I wish there are. But come on, just like and fucking subscribe for
1
God's
million
sake.
people watch this podcast already. That's a fact.
Mate,
Yeah, it's true.
happy,
1 million.
happy.
1 million weekly listeners we have.
Sometimes I think like, what are we doing? Like, what are we not doing right? Because our content is good content.
It's new content. It'll get better. It'll get bigger.
It will. It
Yeah.
will. And it's just the consistency. I know we just got to be consistent. And then when someone goes to me, oh, what happens if you take a week off? I'm like, nothing happens to me if we take a week off. What I do know is that the algorithm doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Now, is my life going to be ruled by an algorithm? No. But do I want to put the work in early to build up to the point where I can walk away and take a job in another country, for 6 months, and you guys run the show and it still does its thing? Yes, I want to be able to do that. I want to go and be able to take a fucking sabbatical and be like, yo, I'm out. Give me a month and I'll be back refreshed. I'll go and do that. I did that. I remember coming back from my fucking road trip, and I remember for a month, right? I literally was like a Spanish homeless person. All I did was I slept, and yeah, maybe this is quite a far jump, but I slept, and I just slept on the beach, day in, day out. And sure, it was a fancy way of doing it, but I didn't do anything in my life. I slept, I found some food, I ate it, came back to the beach. I was like so dark by the time I came back, and that's it. That's all I did for literally a month. Went out, I did nothing of any value in terms of like grand scheme of things. But was it good for my mental? Absolutely, probably. Should I do more of that? Yeah. Do I think that I want to that? Yes. Do I always actively go and do that? No, because I think that something else is more important, like editing this podcast or working on the things that I should be doing, like my YouTube, that I've got an episode to put out on Thursday that I haven't done yet. And I'm like, what do I do? And then I think about, how am I supposed to fucking streamline this thing and make it so that I can put out content every week and it's like, it's digestible into the way that we do it. These are the things that literally run through my brain. And then there's TikTok sounds like "Go Little Rock Star," and I'm watching these Harry Potter spoilers, these fucking Spider-Man spoilers. I'm like, yeah, I wish I was Spider-Man.
Why do you wish to be Spider-Man?
I don't know. As a kid, I remember watching Tobey Maguire, beat up Doc Ock or have a go with Doc Ock, and then the Green Goblin, and then there was Venom and Sandman, and I'm like, yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's not real.
I know it's not real, but I wish sometimes
You can be a superhero in your own world.
you know
Be
what?
the superhero you know you can be. Theoretical advice with Moo Moo.
We should make that a segment.
Muhsin gives useless advice.
We'll do a compilation at the end of like 100 episodes. What qualms do you have with me? Go on.
I don't really have any qualms with you.
Come on.
You can be a bit uptight sometimes.
In what sense?
I don't like your hat. I'm joking. No, I like your hat. I think you just need to relax. It's easier said than done, innit?
What does relaxation look like? This is part of my fucking... I don't even know what that looks like anymore.
Do things just as and when they need to be done. Don't fucking put yourself on a weirdly tight schedule like you're in the military all the time. Jesus Christ, man.
It's like I wanna have this and I wanna do that.
Here's your problem. You're a 5-year plan kind of guy. And those guys, they either lose the plot or they're successful, but there's no middle ground.
But the thing is, I don't have a 5-year plan. When someone asks me about, oh, do you have a 3-year plan? Do you have a year plan? Do you have a 5-year plan? Okay, maybe I've got a year plan because I wanted to do that. I wanted to get my ducks in order to go hunting. But when someone asks me, like, do you have a 5-year plan? I just like, where the fuck am I going to be in 5 years? Where was I 5 years ago? I'm 24 now. I was 19. When I was 19, I was starting my depressive stage.
Actually, I know what my qualm with you is. I've
What?
just realised. You're really shit at following your own advice.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you know what the right thing to do is, right, for your mental health. You damn well know what you need to do, but you just don't do it. And you put all this pressure on yourself. When in reality, you're doing fine, man. You got a podcast that's doing pretty well considering how long we've been doing it for. You're part owner of a show that sells out every time we do it, and we're about to scale it up. You make money from doing stuff from home, basically. The same amount of money that some people would make in a month that you can make in a day, right? You have good friends. What else is there, man?
I know.
Who cares?
No one. That's the fucking point. No one gives a shit.
And why should they?
I also know that.
Everyone's too busy to give a shit, man. Everyone's trying to do what they want to do.
You know, sometimes I feel like I'm an 80-year-old man in a 24-year man's body.
Really?
Yeah. It's not that I'm wise. I'm not trying to make out that I'm wise and I've been through tons of experiences. But I do look back and I sometimes look back and I go, yeah, I know a lot. And other times I look back and I'm like, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah. So what? What exactly?
No, that I don't like that. When you go,
What?
so what?
So what?
I know you mean it in good sense, but he's I know you're right.
You just gotta stop taking it so seriously. Viraj, you're not a banker.
I know.
You work in entertainment.
I know.
Don't take it so seriously. Enjoy it. And it will translate
what,
into your content.
One of the things that you said to me, Mo Gilligan sold out the O2, called it the Mo 2.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you went to me, I want to do that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I did in that moment?
What?
I went, okay, Muhsin, I'm going to make it happen for you.
Yeah.
And not in that instant, I'm not going to be able to buy out the O2 and do it for you. But in that moment, I was like, he wants that. I know how badly he wants it. I saw your eyes. I know how badly you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll probably bottle it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't think you will. You'll get up on stage and you'll have one of those moments where you're like, you take it all in,
Yeah.
and you're not good at that. Fine, we're gonna be able to do that. Ooh, are we good? Yeah, we're good. We're gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna make this happen for you. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
be fucking Dana White, and I'm gonna make it happen. But do I take on that responsibility? Yeah. And does it aggravate me when shit doesn't go right? Yeah. Because I'm like, fuck, we can do so much more. I want him to get it before Mo. And not that Mo Gilligan's a competitor. Not in any capacity. I am so happy for that guy.
He's 34. He's
Yeah.
10 years older.
I want to do it in a time frame where I'm like, I fucking did that with Muhsin. Not
Yeah.
I did it, we did it.
Yeah.
I helped him get there.
That's the better mentality. And it's not about, put it this way, let's say, for whatever reason, I ended up at the O2. It wouldn't be I ended up, and it wouldn't be you did that for me. It's something we did together. Because at this rate,
I help you put your content out there, right? Because if we weren't doing this podcast and we weren't having our conversations about social media and whatever, you wouldn't not that you wouldn't, but there would be a chance you weren't actively putting out stuff every week.
yeah,
Do I give a shit whether you post this on your channel or you post this on that channel? No. Because all I know is that one thing I do know is that everyone else does exactly the same thing. They repost shit. Like all of these meme accounts, they just repost the same shit.
yeah.
And that's all that
You
we
should
do.
start posting our podcast, by the way. I don't know why you don't.
I don't know why I don't either.
If we're posting on 2 Instagram pages, 3 is better than 2 last time I checked.
Yeah, good point.
It's just going to reach more people. You should.
Fair point.
Yeah, you should. And yeah, we should do that from now on. Anyway. But we're so tied into these projects together now, where any success you have will be attributed as partly to me
Yeah.
and vice versa.
I know that
So-
I can't go out and stand on a stage at what's the nightclub, the show that you did shit at.
Top secret.
Top Secret.
But-
I
but- oh,
can't be
one-
on stage at Top Secret.
One sec, I smashed it the next time round.
He
though.
did, he really
I got
did.
like 3 standing ovations.
Muhsin,
so-
that's my boy. Muhsin, that's a lot. I
standing
remember that. I
ovations.
know him.
I wore a
I
shirt.
know him.
I got sorry about that night. But anyway, carry on.
I can't do that. When you go out and you talk to people, you talk to the guests that we're potentially going to come on that have onto this podcast. I don't do that. I don't mingle with comedians. You do that.
Yeah, that's what I bring.
People watch this thing because they find you funny.
And also, I'm sexy.
Yeah, when you've lost weight, sure.
I'm really attractive.
Mate, I was going through old photos. You were a monster.
I was gorgeous, innit?
God damn.
Was.
Muhsin.
I was gorgeous.
Muhsin.
I forgot how I was such a handsome boy.
God, when you went through that chaos phase.
Oh, mate, I was good looking.
Ah,
I'm getting back to it, Viraj.
but I hope so.
I'm doing it for my missus. She
I-
deserves it.
She does.
Yeah.
You do. You deserve the world.
All right, fucking hell. You do? But fucking hell.
Oh.
But yeah, listen, any success you have, right, whether it's Smokeverse related
Yeah.
or not, or within the Smokeverse or out of it, it's all connected to each other because basically everything we do is
It's
basically
intertwined.
tied to each other's hip at this point.
Yeah.
So let's say the way you worded it is completely wrong. You said I want to do that for you. No, that's what you should say is I want that for us because if
So I
I'm
need
at
to change that internal dialogue.
if I'm at the O2, you're probably getting a share of the revenue because it's probably going to be involved in something that we've been doing together anyway.
This is true.
So it's for us. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So I need to change that dialogue with myself
I don't see
and
when
speak to myself differently because
when-
I don't speak to myself nicely.
when you ask me like, oh, what do you think about this or what do you think about that? In my head, I'm thinking, one, I'm not your fucking manager. I'm not your boss, yeah, and I'm definitely not your dad, right? You can make this decision by yourself. Sometimes when you call me and I'm like, why are you asking me, dickhead? You know damn well.
Bruv, say that to me.
Huh?
Say that to
I'm
me.
saying it now because I'm like, why are you asking me for advice? You're a
Oh,
grown
there
man.
has been so many times when I just shouldn't have called you.
It's not because I don't care. It's because I'm like, whatever decision you make,
Just do it.
I trust it.
I just like I said, I just like bringing you in the loop, just keeping you in the loop. That's it. It's fine it.
Next time, just call me and say we're doing this, and chances are, if I really disagree with it,
You'll
then
say something.
I will say it. I'm not shy. If I say, oh, if you
You
call
are
me,
when
I'm
people
not.
give you compliments.
I'm not saying this
Ah,
is.
that bit gets me is the fact that you can't take compliments. I'm like, listen, what happened here? Who hurt you?
I don't know, but that's another story. But I'm saying if you were about to make a terrible decision, I would voice it to you. Like if you, for example, when you said, like, I don't necessarily agree with how we're gonna put out the Spotify podcast, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you that. I didn't say do whatever you need to do. I called you because I was like, no, 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 no. I think we should do it now. Let's jump on it early.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there was going to be some sort of benefit of putting video out right now.
Yeah.
And there you go. Like that was something that I didn't agree with, so I jumped on it. But if it's like something like if I say whatever, go with your judgment.
Yeah.
That's because I have no qualms. If I objected to if we turned everything into a discussion,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, things would move so much slower. It's like when you say to me, like, for example, here's the difference between us, right? So when we were talking about making our plans
Mm-hmm.
for the new year, you said, yeah, let's organize some sort of scrum. I was like, first of all, what the fuck is a scrum? We ain't playing rugby. Yeah? You're too organized. I'm
Yeah,
saying,
because I know
or-
it does well. You can have these fucking blue sky conversations, but when you actually sit down in a structured environment, it comes out better.
Or we could just have a chat about it rather than trying to organize it for 2 months with like the 6 people who are involved in this project. Yeah, and it's never going to get done because we're never going to get everyone in the same space at the same time.
Did I put out the clips on Spotify or not?
What, for this week?
Yeah,
I haven't looked.
I don't think I did.
Oh, you fucker.
Well, it'll be out next week
No, last week's clips are up there.
on Spotify.
Yeah, they are.
You
You
sure?
put one up. There's one up there. I don't know about the other ones are up
Sorry,
there.
I'm having a moment here where I'm like, I don't know if I did that because I know I haven't. Fucking hell.
Put it this way. My management style is based off the management style of Steve, my PhD supervisor, right? He doesn't micromanage me. He just trusts me to get on with it and he trusts my judgment. And if I'm going really wrong, he'll tell me, right? And I'm definitely not going to manage you because I'm not your manager. So I'm not going to treat you like my employee. See what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying. I also see that Anchor is not showing me the stuff that we need to see. I will sort that out later. Oh my god! We can see 2 people have favorited our podcast.
What does that mean?
It means that they've done something that I don't actually know what it means.
Let me read their names.
Zoe Dixon.
Don't know her, do you?
No, and Derek Wilder. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Derek and Zoe. Big shout out to the gang.
Mate, this is phenomenal. But there's like a weird mark. So I'll deal with that shit later. I get it. I get it.
It's not that I don't care. It's just that I trust you.
My brother says I don't care a lot. But I know he doesn't care. He just says it like I don't care.
Your brother's also the youngest.
This is true.
So he's been used to you leading the way.
This is true.
Like my
You know I used
brother
to speak
is
for
like
him.
that as well. Yeah, I used to speak for Ahmed as well.
Did you?
Yeah, because he, not in the sense you, because he used to be shy,
Yeah.
right? Well, still is not shy, but he doesn't talk as much as I do. So when we were kids, like I knew in situations I'd be like, here's what's happening. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
It's the older brother thing, and it can be frustrating because, like, why are you a child? Well, it's our fault because we treated them like children their entire life, and they're adults. Yeah. I still do it to him.
I sometimes do it to him. I think I do it to him a lot.
There's been times
I'm trying to work on it.
There's been times, right? He's a year younger than me. There have been times that I haven't taken my younger brother out on nights out because I think it's too dangerous, even though he's like 13 months younger than me.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah, because I'll be like, no, he might get in trouble.
What trouble is he?
I don't know, because in my head he's still a child because he's my younger brother. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like a weird mentality thing. I'll be like, I won't be able to enjoy myself because I'll be constantly checking to make sure that he's safe. It's like a brother thing.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I do that all the time. All the time.
Damn.
When I feel responsible with the people, like when my missus, when she goes home from work and stuff, I'm always like, make sure you call me on your way home and stuff. Because I feel like a responsibility to look after her.
Damn.
I wouldn't do that with you. If you didn't call me after you got home, I wouldn't be like, shit, where's Viraj? I'm sure he's fine, and I'll just get on with it.
Yeah.
because I don't feel like I have to look after you.
Maybe I want that, Muhsin.
Well, I'm sorry, Viraj.
You're not getting it.
You're not fucking getting it. I'm not your dad. I'm not your mum. Definitely not your boyfriend, despite what people think. Oh,
Have
man.
people said that in the comments?
Nah.
Wow.
But it'll come. You'll be alright, mate. Don't even stress.
What's your Christmas looking like?
It's gonna be fun, hopefully.
You taking some time off?
I'm still working. I'm working, but I'm working at a leisurely rate at this.
I think I need to do that.
Yeah. Even Steve, like my manager, said in the emails, like everyone's still working, but everyone's just working
Slower.
slower. Which is fine. It's good. It's good to slow down. So what I do is I know what I want to get done by the end of the new year. By the new year, and I'm just slowly working towards it. And if it doesn't get done, it's not the end of the world.
I find it really weird. You know, when you come to this time of year and you're like, oh, I want to start this or I want to start that. And then everyone goes, oh, start on a clean slate. Do it in the new year. I just don't believe in that. I'm just like, if you're going to do something and you really want to do it, just do it now.
Yeah, just start now. New Year resolution.
It's like, okay, take for instance my YouTube. I want to start putting out content consistently. I'm like, okay, I've never done this whole daily vlogging thing, or not vlogging, but like creating videos on a daily basis. I've got all the time in the world at the moment. Why don't I do it?
Mm,
And then I get to the desk and I'm like,
yeah.
nah.
Sometimes you just gotta force yourself to do things, which is counterintuitive to everything I've said previous in this podcast. But sometimes when push comes to shove, you literally just have to start and just gain momentum as you're going along. Like today, I had to make a results table for one of my research papers. I really didn't want to, man. Oh god, it's so tedious making tables, yeah. And I have to, some of the information is already in the results section I've already made. Some is still in my code. Some is in a dissertation that one of my MSc students last year put. So I'm just there making the table, adjusting the bloody lines so it all aligns. But you move it a little bit too much on the right so it shifts on the left. But I got through it in the end. My nephew sat next to me while I was making it and he goes, I want to help you work. And I was like, yeah, sit here. And I was like, oh, good job. You're being so helpful. And every now and then I just let him press a key.
That's so nice.
Yeah, little prick.
You really are kind of like being a dad without being a dad.
Sometimes I hide in my room when they're being too much.
Really?
Yeah.
You actually hide in your room. You don't just
Not
like
hide
think
in my
that.
room. Sometimes I'm like, I love him, but I'm going upstairs now. Someone else can look after him.
That's so funny.
This is the different. This is how women child mind compared to how men child mind. Yeah. When women are looking after kids, they're involved. They're making puzzles. They're cooking food. They're taking them for walks. They're reading books. This is how men child mind. They just sit in their chair and they yell instructions every now and then. Oi! Oi! Get out of that room! No, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself, but we'll never get up. That's your last warning. At most, we'll do this. We'll lean forward a little bit. That's how men look after kids. Thank you. And you know that's true. Actually, maybe you'll probably get involved.
I get involved.
No, I
I know. I've seen it happen, and I'm there on the floor making the puzzles and doing stuff.
My nephew and my niece were like, "Help us make the puzzle," and I was like, "I really don't want to make a puzzle right now." So what I said is, "No, you have to do it yourself. You have to learn." So I was like, in my head, I was squaring it off as like I was making them learn independently, but in reality,
You just didn't
I just didn't want to make the bloody puzzle because, in all honesty, I don't think I could make that puzzle.
I get like that sometimes when you're doing something with them and doing something with kids, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now.
It's a sad moment when you can no longer help your kids with their homework. And it's not even that hard. It's like long division. And they're like, how do you do it? And I'm like,
I don't know.
If you don't know, I definitely don't know.
I haven't done long division in God knows how long.
I can't do long division. I'm doing a PhD and I can't do long division.
Have you ever thought about outsourcing your PhD work?
It's cheating.
Is it?
Yeah, that would be cheating.
Oh, interesting.
What do you mean by outsourcing?
It's like getting someone to collate all the information for you and then you writing it.
We have research assistants working on our project.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we have
Is
research
that illegal?
assistants.
Is that illegal?
No,
Is that cheating
no,
at a
no, no.
master's level?
No, I don't know about masters, but no, we have research assistants working on the projects.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I don't get them to write up the reports for they're not going to write my thesis for me.
Yeah.
But like they'll come on board and they'll help with data collection and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
Interesting.
And by the way, they're normally very good.
Are they better than you?
No, but they wouldn't be because I've got more experience.
But yeah, what, 1 year,
No,
2 years?
no.
Well, what age,
What, like
what
an-
level are these research assistants at?
some of them are most of them are MSc conversion.
Okay.
So it's their first year in psychology, or a lot of them are undergrad. So I've got like 5 years experience on them.
Okay.
And a lot of time they just need a bit of guidance, but you give them tasks that they might find a bit challenging, but they will overcome, and they're very motivated. Students are great, man. You know, if it wasn't for PhD students, most universities would fall apart in terms of their research output
Why?
because there's way more PhD students than there are staff in the university. So most of the research output from the university comes from their PhD students.
So do the staff, like the lecturers, actually do any research?
Yeah, they do, and they do probably the more cited research.
Mm.
But in terms of volume, most of it comes from PhD students.
I didn't know that.
And PhD students and master students are assistants, so they can assist on the bigger projects.
So do you assist? You assist on bigger
Yeah, I
projects,
assist
right?
on
You've
bigger
worked on
projects,
some
yeah.
stuff. And universities get funding based on their research.
Sorry
Don't
to
they?
interrupt. I've led now 2 multinational projects.
Good on you.
Yeah,
Good on you.
I just don't bitch and moan about it, Viraj.
This is true.
Yeah.
Nah,
Don't
sometimes
come
you
on
do.
this podcast and say, and another thing about Viraj, right? He never helps me with the standard deviations. For once.
Because I
would
can't.
just-
I still to this day, I can't do standard deviation.
Do you know what a standard deviation is?
You- I don't. I do. I
Economics
do. And I
student
don't.
doesn't know anything. Guess, try in your best possible ability, describe what a standard deviation is.
It's something to do with percentages and arrows and crocodiles.
Are you on crack?
A standard deviation of like, I did at one point in my life know what a
Okay,
standard deviation.
If they mean
I have suppressed this information so deep into the box inside of my mind, my little black box, that I just don't take it
Okay.
out anymore.
if the mean height
Yep.
of an NBA player is 6'5",
Yep.
and the standard deviation
Yep.
is 6 inches, what does that mean?
The mean deviates by 6
Yes,
inches. Is that what it means?
for the overall data set.
Okay.
Why is that useful?
No, I fucking do. Why is it?
By the way, it's not 6 inches. It'll probably be like 2 inches, or 3 inches. So let's say one standard deviation is 3 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can assess what individual players, how far they disperse from the mean. So let's say the average NBA player is 6'5", but we know that LeBron James is 6'8". We know he's one standard deviation away from the mean.
But why is that useful?
So we can assess what percentile he is in for the overall dispersion of heights in the NBA.
But why is that useful?
So you can know where people fall on a data set, on a given data set. And you can also check how much spread and variance there is in your data.
Okay.
Now, let's say you have the mean height is 6'5", but there's a standard deviation of 11 inches.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the NBA? What can we infer from that information? Right. So that means that there's quite a large spread in the heights in the NBA. Well, that means we can say that perhaps maybe the height isn't that important for your playing in the
Successful
NBA.
players,
Yeah, for
okay.
successful NBA players or
So
making it
you
into the
can
NBA.
use this data to make hypotheses or hypothesize something that you can then
Well,
move forward.
no, you would use that information to assess
Your hypothesis.
your hypothesis.
Other way around. Okay.
So let's say your hypothesis is that height is extreme. You need to be a particular height
Yeah.
to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then you found that the average height is 6'5", but there's a standard deviation of 12 inches.
Yeah.
Right? That might not necessarily support your hypothesis, right? Because that means, well, then the general spread of the data is anyone can fall anywhere on that spread, right? So you could be 5'5" with that information and play in the NBA. Obviously, that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah. But if let's say you had the average height was 6'5", but there was a standard deviation of 2 inches,
Yeah.
but that shows you there's a lot more rigidity to the height. Or, and a better example, let's say you wanted to assess poverty around the world, right? And you wanted to assess different levels of poverty in different countries, right?
Yep.
And you have a poverty scale from a score of 1 to 10. So each country gets a poverty scale of 1 to 10.
Uh-huh.
10 being extreme poverty and 1 being basically no poverty. Yeah.
Right.
Right. And the average poverty around the world is 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then you work out the standard deviation and it's 2. Right. But then there's a country that has a poverty rate of 9. What that means, they're like 2 or 3 standard deviations away from the mean, which is they are much more impoverished than the average country. So you can use that to assess, you can use the standard deviation and the mean to assess the individual condition of a country in comparison to the rest of the world. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm trying to visualize it, but it makes sense.
yeah.
You know, your mind is crazy.
That's really simple.
Your mind is actually crazy. You
No.
went from cracking jokes to that very quickly.
But that's quite a simple concept. That's not
Yeah, it's a
difficult.
simple
Yeah.
concept, but it's kind of mad you can fit like that.
I'm very sexy, Viraj.
I wouldn't
thank
say
you.
that it's that.
I guess.
Well done.
Don't compliment me.
Well done. We've got 10 minutes left.
Anyone else upsetting you?
Nah, we're good.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, just the girls on Hinge. I'm removing myself from the dating game.
You know what I saw today, right?
Go on.
So there was a funeral, yeah,
Mhm.
going on, and you know there's obviously a hearse, and then the cars follow.
Yeah.
There was a slip road, and the guy was waiting for someone to give way to him
Yeah.
to come onto the dual carriageway, but he's in a bloody hearse, and there's loads of cars following. No one was giving way to the hearse. What? I don't care how busy you are. Show some bloody respect. You give way to a hearse.
Yeah.
So I stopped, right, and people were beeping behind me. I'm like, I don't care how long this takes. They are getting out of here. That's a bloody funeral, right? That person is taking their last ever trip in this world, but you're too busy to give way because you need to get to Tesco on time. Shut up, man. You can beep all you
That's
like behind
really
me.
deep.
How rude.
That is really
And people are
deep.
coming out and they're crying and saying thank you to me because I stopped. You fucking terrible people. And there's people trying to overtake me.
People, yeah, this is my
These
fucking
people,
point.
man.
No one gives
Terrible
a shit.
people. Terrible
No
people
one
out there.
gives a shit.
It's probably just North London, though.
No, it happens near us.
Oh, people are scumbags, man.
You really had one of those moments today. That's one of those moments where you're like, shit.
Like, guys, come on. This is a good reason
To stop.
to stop. I don't care how busy you are. I was in a rush. I was like, I'm not that busy.
It's what, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it took about 3 minutes for all the cars to come out.
Oh, so what?
Yeah.
You don't get to Tesco's on time.
Yeah.
3 minutes to your lunch reservation. Who
People are
cares?
terrible, man.
You know what? Do better. I'm trying to do better. He's trying to do better. Do better. We all just need to do a little bit better.
And that's not me saying I'm a perfect human being. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. It's just about being honest with yourself and owning up to mistakes. Some people can't own up to mistakes. We all know that one person where you don't even ask them for an apology because you know it's never coming.
Yep.
It's not in their vocabulary.
Why do you think that is?
Pride, ego. Sometimes they just don't respect you enough to apologize. You know what really winds me up? When people talk to one person a type of way because they know they'll get away with it, but they never say it to another person. Because they treat people differently depending on the amount of respect they allocate to that person.
Yeah, I've
What's
had
that
a friend
saying? Treat the CEO with the same level of respect that you would treat the
Yeah.
janitor. That's so important, man.
We were up in London yesterday. We're doing some stuff, and this lady was walking down the steps at where was it, Bank, and the bags, like the suitcases she had fallen on her, and like, you know, no one had gone up the right hand side because she was there struggling. Everyone thought she was going up. This woman was trying to come down and the bags had fallen on her. So me and my dad, we rush up, and he started pulling the bags up. He's like, no, I need to go down. So I literally just carried the bags down for her. She's like, oh, thank you so much. I'm like, no worries. Have a good
Took 2
Christmas.
minutes out your day.
It's not even that, 30 seconds.
2 minutes out your day to do a good deed for someone. Other people aren't willing to do.
Makes you feel amazing. Makes you feel incredible. I love that. I love that feeling. I wish I could live on that high, but you go through the peaks and troughs for a reason.
Have you ever had like a bad, something's gone so terribly wrong where you just start laughing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny.
Road trip,
Yeah.
Europe. Got to the bottom of not Interlaken. Got to the bottom of that famous pass, Stelvio Pass. and I realized I fucked up the route, and I
Yeah.
realized there wasn't a motorway to get to Interlaken from there. And to do it, I'd have to go back up the Stelvio Pass, get back on that motorway, and it would basically be 3 hours in another direction.
Oh, that's
And I
long.
was like, am I really gonna do that after what has just happened? And I had a mental breakdown on top of a mountain. Came to the bottom, had lunch, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm just laughing to myself, thinking, what the fuck have you done? Like, it was just so funny. And then we end up getting to our accommodation, and it's this shitty kind of cabin that we're sharing with people, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious.
I'll never forget when you went off on that road trip. That was hilarious to me. I was like, what kind of quarter life crisis is this guy having?
Mini quarter life
Gap
crisis.
years are just quarter life crises.
Yeah, I did my gap year after I'd finished my education,
Yeah.
not before or during. I just took the time out afterwards.
Yeah. What advice would you give to first years who are on their first Christmas holiday away from uni?
I'd say don't revise because it's only 40%. No, I wouldn't say
it's
that. I
true.
wouldn't say that. I would just say, like, spend time doing the things that you've never got to do at Christmas before, because this break is massive. And if you don't have exams in January, enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Don't get too, caught up in the assignments and things like that. I say that because I got caught up in the assignments, and you think uni is this like, oh yeah, I need to stay there and da-da. Go and do the things that you want to do. Go and do the things that you can find and try new things. Where uni just those 3 years where you live inside a bubble and you
Yeah.
can try new stuff. Go to Winter Wonderland if you've never been, or fucking spend time at home with your family and whatever. Or maybe don't. Maybe go and help at a homeless shelter or giving out food like on Fresh Prince. But just enjoy it.
My cousin, right? It was his 18th yesterday, and we did like a party celebration for him,
Nice.
and it was really nice because it's so weird. Because I remember when he was born,
Yeah.
and I just helped him write his personal statement for uni,
No shit.
and it's so nice to see like what a nice guy he's become over the years. I never had doubts that he was going to be a nice kid, but it's like I felt really proud. Like I couldn't stop hugging him. It was really sweet, and he might be going to the same university as we did,
No shit.
which will be sick. He
That
was
would
like,
be awesome.
because I sent him university choices, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, Royal Holloway looks sick. I think I want to go there." And I was like, "Go, man."
There was no pressure to push him in that direction.
No, I will drop him off to Royal Holloway if
Bro,
he
I'll
goes.
be there as well. Be there
I'm
with
going
the camera.
freshers with him. No, I'm not. And I don't think he'd want me there.
We're done with that, Muhsin.
Yeah, I'm retired.
Freshers is not somewhere that you want to go straight away. Lord Almighty.
I'm too old for clubbing now. If I went clubbing, yeah, I feel like I would feel like someone's dad at a house party. I'd be like, "Oi, you, get off that table. Make better life decisions. He doesn't care about you. Don't give it up too easily. He doesn't care. Like, don't drink so much. What are you trying to prove? You don't need to do this. You can have a good time on less alcohol." I'll be like someone's dad at a party. I won't be any fun at a nightclub right now. I'm too old.
I think it's pathetic.
Yeah.
And I get the fun of it because when you start drinking and you get all of that stuff in your system, it's great. But
Going to uni, if you've lived a pretty sheltered life, it's like being unleashed
oh yeah,
to a whole new world of
For sure.
dark drinking escapades.
for sure.
I remember after my first night out uni, and we went to a campus university, so it was like living in a hotel. After the first SU night, I was really drunk, and I got back to my room at like 5 in the morning, ordered a pizza, yeah, and I just started laughing at myself in my room, like I can't believe this is my life
That
right
is
now.
so funny.
I just started giggling, and then I ended up in one of my housemates' toilets, and we hotboxed her toilet on the first night.
Oh, what the
And
fuck?
I don't do
yeah.
that stuff, and I'm hotboxing for no reason.
That's fucking hilarious. I remember taking the elevator up to my room and thinking, this is the fucking life.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh
boy.
man, what
Except
I would
that
give.
wet room was not it.
Oh, those wet rooms are terrible.
It was shit.
I feel like they're not going to relate to what we're saying right now,
Nah,
unless they're Royal Holloway alumni.
Unless you're on suites and stuff like that. Lord Almighty. Look, it was fun. Those 3 years are good 3 years, and you learn a lot about yourself if you spend the time to learn a lot about yourself. But I think the game's changed slightly. World's different, pandemic and all of that. And so the experience that they get is going to be different than the experience that we get.
Yeah, should we pack this in?
Yeah, mate, you've got a minute left. 30 seconds.
Okay, Smoke Sessions podcast. Yeah, like and subscribe to this because it makes us happy. Do the right thing. It's good for your health. 1 Minute Smoke will be back in January unless Boris decides that we're not allowed to do fun things anymore, even though he gets to have garden parties with all his closest friends. Yeah. So if we don't get locked down, 1 Minute Smoke will be back January 27th. Get your tickets because they sell really bloody fast, and get them early because we do them cheaper when you do them early bird, right? Don't be the idiot who pays £15 when you could have paid 10. Yeah, do the right thing.
Smoke sessions everywhere you could possibly find it. Enjoy. Have a good
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes.